I find myself incredibly happy today, though I can't quite pinpoint why. It's one of those moments where joy fills every corner of my being, and there's no single reason for it. Yet, as much as I search for an explanation, I realize that deep down, the answer is simple: it's you. The thought of you alone is enough to bring an uncontrollable smile to my face. I try to stop, but I just can't. Whenever I think of you, something magical happens inside me. My heart swells with happiness, and before I know it, my face lights up like that of a joker, constantly smiling. My eyes crinkle with joy, and I feel like the happiest person on the planet. In fact, I'm not just feeling like it, I know I am the happiest person in the world right now. I never thought that love could bring this much happiness. If I had known this before, I would have never run away from it. Looking back, I see how wrong I was about love and relationships. You've proven me wrong in the best possible way. Before meeting you, I was filled with fear. I was afraid of love, afraid of being in a relationship, because I always believed that I might never find someone who would truly be right for me. I convinced myself that relationships were burdens, nothing more than complicated entanglements that would weigh me down. But then, you walked into my life, and everything changed. I used to be so closed off, not even entertaining the idea of love, much less marriage. I had built walls around myself, thinking that staying emotionally distant was the best way to protect myself. Yet now, when I look in the mirror, I barely recognize the person I've become. I feel like a completely new version of myself. It's funny how life works, isn't it? I went from someone who avoided love to someone who believes that everyone should experience it. These days, I find myself telling people that they should definitely fall in love, that love can transform you in ways you never imagined. Can you imagine how strange that sounds coming from me? I've even started writing poems and letters, becoming so romantic that it surprises me. It feels as if I've completely forgotten who I was before meeting you. Love has changed me so profoundly that I barely remember the days when I was indifferent to romance. I can't help but laugh at how much I've transformed. I feel like I'm living in a beautiful dream, and it's all because of you. Meeting you has opened my eyes to a whole new world of happiness. I now know what it means to feel complete, to wake up every day with a heart full of joy. I'm incredibly thankful to have met you because you've shown me how much happiness I can truly experience. I am beyond blessed, and every time I look at you, I remind myself of just how lucky I am. You're the one holding my hand through it all, and that simple fact makes me feel like the most fortunate person in the world. Before you, I never believed in angels. The idea of something so pure, so magical, felt distant and unrealistic. But now, you've made me a believer. You've shown me that magic is not just something we read about in fairy tales, it's something we can experience in real life. You've brought magic into my world, and for that, I am forever grateful. I've never been this happy in my entire life. The thought of living without you feels impossible now. You've become such an integral part of my life that imagining a day without you seems unbearable. These days, I find myself praying to God, asking Him to write your name in my destiny forever. I want us to be together, not just for today or tomorrow, but for eternity. Sometimes, I catch myself wondering how I was blessed with someone as amazing as you. I didn't even believe in love before, but now I think God must really love me to have given me His most precious creation. You've not only changed me, but you've also transformed my entire life. It's as if I've been given a glimpse of heaven here on earth, and it's all thanks to you. I can't put into words how much this love has impacted me. I'm spellbound, left with no way to fully express the depth of these feelings. All I can do is be grateful. grateful to you for loving me, for changing me, and for making my life more beautiful than I ever thought possible. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Sometimes in life, we make mistakes that cannot be undone, no matter how hard we try to fix them. I made such a mistake when I let you go. It's hard for me to express just how much I regret that decision now. Looking back, I realize that I should never have let you slip away. I should have fought for what we had, even if it meant fighting with you or facing uncomfortable truths. I should have worked harder to make you stay. Now, I find myself haunted by the thought of what could have been. How do I even begin to explain the depth of my regret for not valuing the connection we shared? I remember vividly the time you told me you felt an intense, unexplainable connection with me. You said that you believed we were soulmates, that there was something special tying us together. At the time, I dismissed your words. I thought you were misguided, that you didn't really know what you were talking about. But now, after everything that has happened, I realize just how right you were. That intense connection, the one I didn't understand before, I feel it now. It's unmistakable. I feel it deeply now that you've begun distancing yourself from me. I was blind to it then, but it's all too clear now. I used to think that, like with other relationships, I wouldn't think about you much after we went our separate ways. I convinced myself that I would be able to move on easily, that I would find someone new and forget about you. But I was wrong. I tried to date other people, but every time I did, I found myself comparing them to you. No one could match what we had. No one could love me for who I really am, without trying to change me or mold me into something else. They all seemed to have their own ideas about who I should be, and none of them accepted me the way you did. I missed your kindness, your selflessness, and your understanding. With each passing day, the absence of those qualities in others only made me miss you more. Eventually, I stopped talking to other people altogether. My heart grew heavier as time went on, and I often found myself crying without warning. I didn't fully understand what was happening at first, but as time went on, I began to realize the truth. I was in love with you, and I had been for a long time. When that realization hit me, I felt a wave of anger, mostly at myself. I was angry for not recognizing my feelings sooner, for not appreciating what we had when we had it. You are a person with feelings, not a toy I could pick up whenever it was convenient for me. How could I have ever expected you to wait for me to figure all of this out? How could I have been so selfish to think that you would be sitting around, hoping I would eventually see my mistake? The truth is, I don't expect you to still be waiting for me. In fact, I hope that you've moved on. I know that I deserve the pain I'm feeling now. It's the punishment for hurting you, for being so careless with your heart. For the first time, I think I truly understand how you must have felt when I was so ignorant of your feelings. I can now feel the same heartache, the same pain, and the same anger that you must have experienced. I'm not asking for your forgiveness because I don't believe I deserve it. I hurt someone who loved me deeply, someone who gave their love freely without any expectations or ulterior motives. I have to live with that. But despite all of this, I will always cherish the memories we created together. I'll carry them with me, and I'll continue to love you from afar, even if we're never together again. Until the universe decides otherwise, I will hold on to that love quietly. I am yours, and I always will be, no matter where life takes us. My heart, my soul, my thoughts, everything belongs to you, even if I can't be with you. Just remember, I am always here for you, no matter what. If you ever need me, I will be there. We will always share that special bond, that first connection, and nothing can take that away from us. That connection is real, and it will always be a part of me, just as it will always be a part of you.